Hello everyone, I am Tacet and happy Monday. I hope you all had a really good weekend, and of course we have a new event, the ORLY event with that little owl meme thingy. I didn't even claim like half my stuff. Let's see if we actually got anything good from the legendary tasks. I haven't checked my chat either, so I don't know if we got a mythic. Probably not. We've only ever gotten 2 mythics from this, and they were actually both back to back, which was amazing. It is possible to get legends and mythics from this, though. It's very, very rare to actually pull a mythic from a legendary task. Oh, and that was the redeem code I took from earlier. Oh, by the way, on that redeem code, I might as well go hand that out too. Let's see. I'll have another one as well, but this was still left over from their stream. Upsets the... Oh, no! It's not on my copy-paste anymore. Oh, wait, I think I copy-pasted just in case I accidentally put another copy-paste over it. I knew this would happen. So, oh, no. But I didn't re-copy-paste it. Fail. Wait, did I not copy-paste it over any of these? Oh no, never mind. Let's see if I can remember what it was. I could have sworn I copy-pasted it, doesn't you see? I might be able to find it by doing that. Oh, there we go, found it. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I think it's missing an H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Yeah, it's missing an H. There it is. I believe that is correct. That right there. It was that. Yep, there you go. Oh, William, you beat me! But yeah, there it is. But yeah, that's what the redeem code came from. I forgot to claim it from earlier. Or it was from the little stream they just did. Actually, I think they're still going. And let's go take our tribute. Do we get anything good? There we go. Nice. 10,000-ish. And just grab all of our PvP, and we're good to go. Okay, so let's go into the new guy. Not the greatest of things. He's not 100% useless, but he's pretty close. Earlier on in the game, he's not, but this late in the game, I definitely wouldn't advise it as a troop you'd really use. It is good once you can get a kill. The problem is you have to get a kill before he becomes useful. So if you have something that can run really quick like this, that can get a kill like that, boom, now he's actually useful. But it takes a lot of setup and a lot of effort to actually reach that point. So not always that worth it. But essentially, now that we will soon be able to get the Yellow Storm, we'll be able to get the better Herdmasters and kind of just keep going from there once we get him up. So we'll throw this down once he stops taking everything. We'll get a brown right there. Oh, wait, never mind. The other one stops it. But we'll go throw this down. We have the boards. Never mind. I was going to say, we had the boards up nicely so we can get an extra turn there. Oh, nope, it came back. Nope, it went away. Nope, it came back. Can we get our turn now? Thank you. Anyways, so we throw a Mercy here, get a heal on whatever our weakest is. Do I have a drop? I can yellow into a skull. I don't think I need to at the moment though. So we'll just go for some splits, get that down again. And since we have the Yellow Storm going, we have a better chance of getting an extra turn, which we get multiple of. Throw that down again and just keep repeating that until we inevitably win. Or maybe not inevitable. This team is not that inevitable. But until we hopefully win. And then we just take a skull and down it goes. Yeah, that's pretty much the team in a nutshell. You do get 5 glory for whenever using this guy in your team. So one good strategy could be to do 1 trophy battles and just gain a lot of points. Just keep repicking until you find something really easy. Use a standard team. We could probably even use this against if we wanted to. And win in no time flat while still getting all of the extra glory. So we could just get this, go straight into a Great Maul. Oh, I should have taken the green first. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Move that over. Yeah, I'll go get it for Mercy, I guess. There we go. We got a fully upped Mercy. Throw this down on highest HP, which is the hero. That's generally everyone's highest HP earlier on in the game. Let's throw that down, and now that should be team wipe. Pretty close. Oh, why you know team wipe? Well, I'll give you a Mercy then. Oh, come on. And luckily the Mercy goes right into it at that point, and down it goes. And you can just quickly wipe those for quite a bit of glory. I think we get like 9 glory here. 8. 8. Yeah, we get 8 glory for that, so... quite a bit if we want to. Oh, look at that. Look at that. A 2,000 battle. But yeah, if you could just keep getting really lucky with battles like this, you'd get points in all the glory you would need in no time. So you'll move that down. Not to mention, this guy in general hits weaker things pretty well. So even if you were a newer player, you'd still be able to use the same strategy efficiently. Not this exact team, obviously, but you can use a similar team like an Alchemist or something, and it would get the same results. Oh, come on. Why 1 mana short? We need that 1 mana. That's all we need to get going, and we don't have it. Actually, I might be able to one-shot him. No, it won't come that close. Oh, it will if I hit him first, though. Let me go take a brown. Devour his high stir ability, which I think is the gate. And he should just die to this. Yep, there we go. And there's our glory, and that one should be 8 again. Yep, there we go. So hello everyone, hello Adrian, William, Lowlight, Rap, PF, Amanda, Marcelo, Plumko, Sea Dog, Bridget, PlayerDaniels, Headless Chicken, William, I think that's everyone at the moment. Okay, any questions and all that? Still locked and loaded in the paste zone. Yeah, I had to paste my title thingy because I need those little fire symbols. I always do like the little fire symbols for streams and the little axes or the sword things for Guild Wars. I have no clue why I really started that. I guess just to give like some kind of visual indication of the difference between them for when I first started streaming. They're like the only 2 stream things I do that I ever use one of them for though. What do you need help with, Marcelo? You need your help. There's a daily task today that requires you to win a battle using 4 troops of the same mana. This should be pretty easy. That's completely exactly what Guild Wars is. Oh, you can try everything that's considered same mana. Maybe everything has to be using the same 2 mana types. So have you tried using like 4 yellow purples or 4 brown reds or 4 red purples or something like that? Actually, 4 red purples would probably be one of the stronger ones. But yeah, maybe they all have to be the exact identical color with no difference between them. I'm not sure because I've never actually seen any of those tasks. They will be reworking the task system in the future and bringing it over to PC Mobile as well when they do so. Though I don't know exactly when they're getting around to doing such a thing. It might just be a glitch where it doesn't work. I'm not sure. I have not actually played on the console versions ever, so I'm not too familiar with anything task-related. It is basically the only feature at the moment that console does have that PC Mobile doesn't. All the little tasks that you guys have on console. We do not have anything like that on PC Mobile. Well, let's go take out the highest damage. That was a pretty pitiful cascade, though luckily it did land into an extra turn at the end there. We'll just get this just to clear out the board a bit. And actually, I probably should have just held that and cast it. Oh well. But I'll throw that down and get a nice Herdmaster. I really didn't need to actually cast that there. But hey, we got some more HP. Make sure we won't die. I'll just have to cast that down a couple more times. Keep adding the Herdmaster, fill it back up. Ideally, extra turn. We'll hold that because there's no way he can mess up all of them unless he explodes. So we'll do that. Get full mana back, thread it again, and one more should be matched. Double check for extra turns, none. And then just clear the board into the victory. If anyone else has any other questions, team builds you want me to do, anything of the such, feel free to leave them in chat, and we'll definitely make sure to get around to them. Also, when will we get Farish Ra? Still none. Still none. I'm pretty sure they're just holding it for Christmas at this point, like during the holidays and such. But yeah, still none. I think this is like the 6th time Famine has come around, as well as a couple of these. I mainly just say Famine because he's the only one currently available right now that's actually worth crafting. Also, King Salinas, while not necessarily overly used these days, the trade stones to trade him are available this week. So if you kind of wanted him for backline Impervious, that wouldn't be too horrible either, if you don't already have something for it. There's not really much synergy with him within Wildfolk, but if I'm not mistaken, there isn't a single other red-yellow that has Impervious. I believe he is the only one. All colors, Impervious. Well, yes, he is the only one. Dwarven Slayer doesn't count. So he is the only troop that is red-yellow that has Impervious. Dwarven Slayer doesn't exist. He just pretends to exist. No one ever uses him. There are sometimes team builds that can use it. It's just in late game, he doesn't have enough damage to one-shot, so he becomes useless. There are some early game teams that use summoners, because a lot of early game team uses summoners, and you can kind of get away with them, but that's about the only case. By the time you reach a couple hundred levels, you'll never use him again, because his damage isn't enough to one-shot enemies by that point. Okay. Well, we'll just go throw this down, keep getting that going until we hopefully win the battle. I should probably go switch over to actual real teams after this. Because almost anything with this little guy isn't really that real of a team. He's currently the best Lightstorm user, which at least gives him some purpose right now. But the second they add a better Lightstorm, he will become irrelevant to ever use in anything. Other than early game, of course. Early game, he'll always survive. Though the problem is, after this week, it'll be really hard for a newer player to get him. because they made him an epic rarity. So not the easiest thing to actually obtain, assuming you're actually trying to pull him from a random chest. But at least there's now 2 versions of him, basically. There's the virus and there's him. So at least that basically doubles the chance that a newer player may get one of them. Okay, and we'll just throw that into a Herdmaster. Or Skulls. Skull works too. Is that enough damage? I don't think it is. It will after this explosion, though. There we go, and that should be kill. And down it goes. Let's see. Oops, I missed some chat. Let's see. You've been using Gorgolfa, Dragon Soul, KrissTigger, Strazek. Yep, that's pretty much all you have to do. Just use a triple team covering every color, and then just put it all the way in the last slot, and then boom, you can do that for any event week that ever goes on. Also, hello, Baron. Hello, Pandemonium. Hello, Anthony, Lexia. Who else did I miss? Hello, Vlad. And hello, Derek. Welcome, welcome. And I believe that's everyone. And other questions I missed. Are there ever going to fix the glitch with the Guild War defend teams changing? I assume so. I have no clue if that's actually being fixed next patch, because in all my testing, well, for one, I've never even seen the glitch before, so I would have no way of knowing if it did or did not get fixed. But, yeah, I assume they're going to be addressing it in the near future. I have no clue in knowing for sure. I personally never seen the glitch, but, yeah, hopefully they get around to it. It has been affecting everyone on all platforms. I don't know why I've never seen it, though. The only thing I ever see with teams is that it switches every Monday, but I believe that's intended. But that's not what I believe everyone's talking about. I think people are talking about it switching midweek, which I've never actually seen before. I'll go move that over. The skull. Though it is annoying that it gets reset on Mondays, though. Go throw the herd down. And just keep going again until we win. Not the greatest of troops, but it gets the job done. You can use it with a KrissTigger, use it with a Dragon Soul, use it with a Herdmaster, use it with a, in early game you could use it with other split damages, like Ranger and stuff. Yeah, he's okay. He's mainly used for his Lightstorm, of course. That's the biggest value that he really gets out of casting him, is the actual storm that he creates. I'll personally probably never use him again after this week, though. Only reason we're even using him to begin with is the 5 glory that it gives us. For that down. What else we have to move? I guess we'll try a brown surge. Hey, we actually got it. And another brown, even if we didn't surge. Very nice. Why is he using 4 times imps? Why does... what? That is strange. I haven't seen 4 times imp for a very, very long time. If I'm not mistaken, 4 times imp is actually still the hardest all-legendary team to obtain. It's still pretty easy to get, but a lot of people still don't have some of the imps. Because they're only ever available via drops whenever it's their season. So right now, I believe it is Winter Imp from December to January, and then February to March will become the Imp of Love, and it just keeps cycling through all 6 of them every 2 months. Winter Imp, I do have to say, is probably one of the better ones, though. There isn't anything that it synergizes perfectly well with at the moment, but I could definitely see it have a purpose in the future. The biggest thing with the Winter Imp is that it has the capability of boosting to a lot of true damage. It's kind of like a Scion that actually does damage, except it doesn't mana drain. But Winter Imp, this little guy, he should be in the all the drop holes right now, like Glory Gem, Guild, VIP, stuff like that. But he deals about the same amount of true damage as what a Scion does, randomly split amongst enemies. But there's 2 differences with this. It's boosted by the amount of blue gems on the board, and it also ends up gaining additional damage whenever a enemy dies. On top of that, it also has a chill, where it gains 1 magic every single time a blue is matched. This used to be quite a bit better. This actually did get nerfed, of course, when they made the change, the most recent patch, where things that trigger, like the Water Link and stuff like these too, whenever they trigger, they can't trigger multiple times at once. So if you use a Valkyrie and you trigger 3 blues at the exact same time, you're only going to get 1 extra water, and you're only going to get 1 extra magic. Back when he could be infinitely done with it, he could pretty much stack to like 50, 60, 70, 80 true damage pretty easily without much effort, and just keep spamming. But yeah, he's basically just like a buffed up Scion without the drain, in a way. Unfortunately, the whole thing that gives Scion its value is actually having all that drain. So, no, I guess it's not the most useful of things. But a good majority of the imps aren't really that useful. They're pretty outdated. Back to being... Some of them weren't even balanced for when they were released. And now the meta has changed even more since then. So they've kind of been left behind. Not sure if they're ever going to be reworking them. I believe during one of the Q&A things, they did say that they would consider it. Because I believe I asked them or someone else did. I know one of the two. But, yeah, hopefully they do. Because they need some love. Especially the Imp of Love. No, actually, out of all of them, Imp of Love is probably decent too. The biggest thing that makes Imp of Love not necessarily good is that Wisp is basically better than it. So there's almost no point in using Imp of Love, even if you have it. Even nerfed Wisp is better than Imp of Love not nerfed. Well, technically, it got nerfed too, indirectly. Of course, there's a lot of things that got indirectly nerfed when they switched how these kind of skills work. The extra turn ones to get a thing off the board and then it does something. Every single one of these, they really neglected a lot of troops when they ended up rebalancing that, just to nerf basically 2. They did that mainly to nerf, well, a little bit more than 2, but they did that mainly to nerf Courage, Queen Mab, and Kraken, I believe were the 3 biggest things they did that change for. Though, unfortunately, ended up nerfing like 30s, 40, 50 other troops or something. Probably even a bit more than that when they made that change. Last Monday, you said Guild War teams checked that they didn't reset. Then found on Tuesday that they reset anyway. That's weird. So you reset them, everything seems okay. You reset them going on to Wednesday. Yeah, I have no clue what actually causes that. I've yet to see that actually happen to myself. The only thing I ever see is, of course, the Monday one, but I believe that's currently intended, even though it's a really weird thing. If it resets anything more than that, I'm not sure why it's doing that. But hopefully it'll fix it. Okay, let's get a... Because that's really bad for Guild Wars if you're losing like 2,000 or 4,000 points for no reason whatsoever. A few thousand each week. Did you try Shadow Dragon, Alchemist, Web Spinner, and a 4th slot? Probably at one point. Normally you don't use Shadow Dragon as first slot though. He doesn't gain a big enough benefit off his final trait. That's another one that they could look into buffing. Which also ended up getting nerfed by the change that they made the most recent patch. Because you can't multi-trigger the purple take anymore, so if you do like 3 purples at once, you only gain 1 attack, not 3. But yeah, he definitely needs some love. His ability is really, really outdated. And I really wish he was viable. He was the first legend I ever got in this game. Actually, he was one of the first 2 legends I ever got. I ended up getting a Shadow Dragon, and then as in my like 10th key or something, actually no, I think it was 8th and 11th. In my 8th and 11th key, my 8th key was a Shadow Dragon, and then my 11th key was another Shadow Dragon when I first started this game. So, yeah, back when I actually got him, he was actually pretty good relative to the current meta. These days, he's almost useless. The only thing he really gets used for is for purple mana generation with an all-dragon team is about the only thing it really is primarily used for. There's a few other things you could, but that's the main one. Okay, what do we have here? We'll just go move that, get our yellow mana. I might go switch into a couple other teams just so we ignore this guy. Oh no, that'll put him into a slightly stronger team. I guess this team isn't going that slow though. Actually, it's fending a little bit better than I was really expecting it to. Biggest issue is it only has basically 1 damage source. I guess you can kind of count the Great Maul as one, but not counting him, he's the only one that can actually cast that does damage. Do we go another Skull? Probably not, because there's a Gorgolfa just sitting there tanking everything. That's the Mercy Wars. Who will cast their Mercy first? Who will get the luscious yellows from the board? Looks like us, because if he casts that now, we'll actually get a pretty good board set up. You know what, I'm just going to explode. Oh good, we did get the extra turn here. Out of safety's sake, I have to Mercy, just because I don't want him getting that. Oh no! There's another one! Well, that ruined that plan. We'll just throw that down. He doesn't go for the Mercy, though, so good for us. And this exploded again. Get full mana. Hopefully he doesn't Mercy. Good. Dead. Oh, of course he would revive. Also, that wouldn't have been dead. He would have survived, but we could have explode killed. There, very nice. Throw that 2 more times. Should be good to go. And we'll give him 1 little explosion. That alone's almost to death. And then anything will kill. If it will let me cast. There we go. Oh, do you know when the firebomb will be placed in the drop hole? No clue. But generally, it's about 4 to 6 weeks after they add it to the game. So, let's see, when was firebomb? 3 weeks ago? Let me go check real quick. I can go just by looking at my channel and seeing when the thingy was. When did I do the event video on it? I think it was 3 weeks ago, I want to say. So that means in around 1 to 3 weeks, firebomb, if so, about 1 to 3 weeks until firebomb gets in the drop pool. They never actually announce when these things occur, unfortunately. That'd be cool if there was a way to actually tell within the game, or even external to the game. I don't even think there's any way externally that you can tell. Trying to find where the firebomb event is. I lose track of it? Let's see. Oh, there it is. It's because I did a different thumbnail for it. Okay, but it is 4 weeks ago. So anywheres from like next week until the end of the year, sometime within that general time frame. So if I had to guess, I'd probably say when they do the next update. With the next update, Bombot would probably be in the drop hole, though there's no guarantee on that, but if I had to assume, that would most likely be when they would do it, hopefully. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for that. Ideally, that will be what happens, but no, there's no official way. And I don't believe there's anything spoiler-wise in the game that actually checks it. I would need to double-check that. Does anyone know if there's a spoiler thread or anyone keeping track of when those things actually come out? I forget if there's a file within the game that actually tells us when that's available. I don't believe there is. They just kind of do it whenever. Let's see. I'll go double check though. Let me see. I'll go check the Gems of Wolf forum. I recall seeing something like it before. I don't know how accurate it was though. Spoiler. New UI. Which kingdom is next? Spoiler alert. Drop rates for summoning. 2 new classes. New kingdom release schedule. When will next mythic be? Spoiler. New kingdom delay. Sneak peek. New Kazil. Duels. Arcanes. Future. Nope. I did not see one going over it. Spoiler this. New classes. New kingdom. Future, specific future arcanes, New kingdom, yeah. And even if there is one, it hasn't been updated for a while, so never mind, yeah. There's nothing that goes over it, unfortunately. I read through almost like the entirety of the spoiler thingy. We're skimming through it. But yeah, there appears to be no traces of it, though. Yeah, hopefully soon, TM. I'll go throw that down. Also, they already said that they still don't have a date as far as when the next patch is coming out. They did mention that it's going through the last bits of their QA testing. So that means probably within the next week or two. They're still trying to get it out before the holidays, though there is a slight chance that they won't be able to. But hopefully they will, as far as the update that is. Good, it didn't devour. We'll just take these blues out the way, get our split. Should probably taken that down. Could have gone free yellow. It only would have taken away like 1 damage from us, 1 or 2. Wouldn't have been that big a deal. Well, it missed. Did we even get anything from that though? I don't believe so. Also, I'll go give a redeem code. I believe the one from earlier ended up getting used up. Do I still have it on my copy paste? But yeah, there's the code if it still works for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure it's dead by now, but do double check it. Use that gemsofwar.com underneath game code. That one's probably already dead, but we will have a fresh one in probably like 10 minutes or so. Do we skull him? I guess so. Why not? Poke him. Get our splits, and 1 or 2 more splits should be enough. Probably 2 more. He does not like to do a lot of damage, that's for sure. Move that up. Get another herd. And is that enough to kill? What is 13 times 3? 95. That is actually. There we go. Nice. 1 Strigic in casual PvP on Warlord 4. All the glory. What? That would be suicide to try to do that. Also, you don't gain any more glory from setting on higher difficulty, by the way. It only increases EXP, gold, and souls. Nothing else gets increased by having difficulty. That'd be cool if it did. If difficulty also increased the amount of glory you got. Though that would make it so casual PvP would gain more glory than normal PvP, which is probably something that they don't want to incentivize. Because anyone who would ever want to farm glory would then just go to casual PvP, which would kind of defeat the purpose. Hey, look at that. Or what? Wait, that's funny. Because the rival is like 656. Weird. Okay, anyways, let's just take this battle, I guess. Why not? Oh, it's definitely dead? Oh, okay. Well, we'll have another one soon then. Actually, probably right after this battle. I might as well just give it out. We'll go devour you, just so you don't get to do anything. Get all of our stats up. Great Maul, even though it has a ridiculously high mana cost, it is particularly decent against a Scion. The reason being that it gets really tanky after it does its cast, and once it does its cast, it actually can't accumulate any mana. So it could become one of the few troops in the entire game that becomes 100% immune to a Scion, or at least the Skull Poke from a Scion, which is kind of interesting because very few troops can do that. There's like 5-ish in the entire game, and generally that would be the best possible option to use, would be the Great Maul for that purpose. And that is dead. All we have to do is cast again, and that is definitely way more than enough damage. That is almost 100 damage right there, actually. And down it goes. Yeah, I really wish they would start adding a really viable storm for every color. Currently, that doesn't exist for most of the colors. Red and purple has it saturated pretty well. Now they just need to do it for every other color in the game, so that they're evenly distributed. Because, for example, like Yellow Storm, there's nothing that Yellow Storms right now that's viable. It's sad that this thing is the most viable one at the moment, but there's none that do it without losing your turn. That's basically what considers if they're viable or not. Can they get a storm on the board without losing a turn? If the answer is yes, they are viable. If not, then they aren't. And he and every other yellow option, as well as many options for most of the colors, do not have the capability of automatically extra turning, or not even automatically extra turning, at least just having a small chance of doing so. It generally determines if they are useful or not. We'll just throw that down, let him take a poke. Actually, at that point, I could have just taken the skull. Would almost gotten more value than his hit, because that's 61. His ability was like 70-something, split amongst them. And we'll just go through another one. If anyone else has any other questions, team builds you want me to do, anything of such, feel free to leave them in chat. Right now, we're mainly just messing with the new owl guy for the glory. And out of everything I've been using that isn't just a standard triple color team, this is probably one of the better ones that I'm aware of. Because you need to try killing one of them out as quickly as possible so that his damage is actually viable. Because anything with 4 troops on the opposing team makes him pretty useless. You're better off just using a standard AoE, because all of them would hit higher than what he would. At least this late in the game. But once you get them down to 3, 2, or 1, he starts hitting more than what a full AoE would. And there we go. Though not as much as an Infernus. Infernus, when there's only 2 left, I think hits like... what is that, like 70 damage to each? I forget what it is. It's some kind of absurd number. Let me see. I'm actually curious now. What was Infernus's damage again? Infernus would do... Oh, wait, no. It's actually a little bit lower than that. Oh, actually quite a bit lower than that. I actually didn't even realize that. Wait, calculator, where are you? I have it blocked. Oh, no, I have it blocked again. Okay, I need to click this. Window key. Why aren't you working? What? I'm clicking window. Oh, there we go. I'm clicking the window key and it's not even doing anything. There we go. Bring up the taskbar, bring up the calculator. What was that? 34, 17. Wait, why didn't I just do that in my head? It's just 34 plus 17. Wait, is that correct? I always thought it was more damage than that. He only does 51 damage to both of them? That's only 102. I guess that's correct. If there's only 2 left... Yeah, I guess that is only 51 to both of them. Though, when there's more than 3, you still get that damage distributed. So it's actually quite a bit more damage than that, assuming 3. Hey, when there's only 2 left, that's actually not as much damage as I thought. I guess a lot of that damage comes in through burn and the fact that he can almost recast it immediately after, due to the fact he gets his explosions, which will basically half his mana, and probably give you something else that will be able to recast. It's probably because even though it's only 51 damage, you get to recast it really quick. So even though it's only 51, you might be able to, like, 10 seconds later, get the exact same ability back up. So, that's probably why it seems like it's more damage than what it actually is. I didn't even realize how little that is when there's only 2. I shouldn't say that that's little. That's actually still pretty competent, being able to do over 100 damage to 2 troops. Not to mention it's even more than that when there's more than 2. Okay, what do we need here? That was a bad example of what I was trying to explain. Let's see. We'll go take the Baron over, get the yellow, get a Great Maul down. Let me just get this guy out the way so we don't have to deal with his extremely high mitigation against skulls. We'll store that down, see if we can get a Mercy somewheres. No Mercy, just clear the board. Oh, he's gonna get the Corvesh, yep. But we still keep our damage, and we still have a Mercy as well, though we don't have alignment on it. Do we still throw it, despite that? No, we just take a skull. Have a skull. Hey, that's why we got our alignment. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Go and get herself an explosion. Get herself a split. Move that down. And a split again until he dies to all the splits. Just keep splitting. Oops, that's not what I meant to cast. I actually meant to cast a Mercy there. Though it wouldn't have been an extra turn, but I did want it to get full mana on him. Oh well. Throw that down again. And one more should be enough to win. And that should be enough mana for him. Or not. Throw it again. Oh wait, do we have Mercy? No, we do not. And come on, let's have one turn. And that's match. Oh, let me get a redeem code 3 matches later. My bad. Let me go get it right now. Let me go do it right now before I get into a battle so I don't forget. My bad. My bad, my bad. Let me go do that. Okay, redeem code. Okay. Let's see. What's the next one in line? Is there any of them that are relevant that I have currently for what currently is the event? Let me see. I don't believe there is. No, none of them are relevant, so I'm just going to keep going down the line here. Let's see, which one is next? It looks like we have a... What is that? Tough Trooper, I think is what it's called. Pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be. Let's see, copy that, save it, and put that into the thingy thing. Put that over there, copy, put that right there, and let me go put it into... Oh wait, never mind, we don't have an interface. I forgot, never mind. Let me just go copy paste it then. Whoops. I keep forgetting to set that up for Monday. Sometimes I do the lazier one. Whenever I have this setup right here on a Monday, that normally means I went with the lazier setup, but yeah, there we go. It doesn't really matter that much. It just means I don't have all the border stuff. It takes a little bit of time to actually set up all that border stuff because it has to be reset every single time, which is why I always use this for streams and other games because it's just a lot quicker to set up than the other thing that we normally run with on Fridays and Saturdays, that whole little thing with the border and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, here's the redeem code. Use it in the same place as always, shimsofwar.com, underneath the game code section, or just click the link and it takes you right there. Other than that, it can only be used for PC and mobile players. Consoles, unfortunately, cannot use it. Your invite code can be found underneath this thing where it says invite code. Underneath the options, you can also get there by just clicking the escape button on PC. And just put in your invite code, and should be good to go. Invite code, the code that we just posted, and say that you're not a robot, unless you are a robot. And then redeem, and we're good to go. And that gives us a normal reward of 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Let's see what's in that 1 gem key. Anything good. Next Mythic is coming, I believe the 22nd, so that's what you save your gem keys for. But I always like opening the one when we get it. And we get a Knight Coronet, really good early game troop. Actually, I always make mention to how amazing his traits are. They're not like the best traded troop in the entire game, but as far as like a troop that has a really good trait progression for newer players, this is one of the best ones. It gains 3 to all stats, and this is already something you generally use in first slot anyway, so boom, good to go. You have the Warder Spirit, which gives you even more magic on top of the magic that you already get from being a leader with it, which could be a potential of about 3 or 4 damage if you're using a really heavy blue team. And then you get Stone Skin, which just reduces all damage by 50%, and you get a really heavy hitting ability that is quite potent, particularly earlier on in the game when you can utilize the boost ratio a bit more, but even not. Later in the game, like right now, we could hit about 30s on average with him, around 30 to 2 different enemies. That's only 60 damage, but it does have some board control, so you do get to have a slight chance of extra turning. It's also one of very few troops that can hit 2 things efficiently, such as the back slot. So you can synergize it with other back slot hitting troops like Kraken and stuff like that. Actually, you probably wouldn't do it specifically with Kraken because the mine is purple, but there are options where you can end up using him for that purpose. Anyways, yeah, that's him. You will never see me using him though, because he becomes basically useless once you have a Emperor Corvash and some of the other better options. It used to be 100% replaced by Corvash, though slightly less so ever since they got rid of Corvash's Stone Skin. But still, in most instances, you just use a Corvash instead, because the mana drain and stun is much better than just plowing down some physical damage. Alright, we'll just take a skull here, throw it into all that, see if we can get ourselves some brown. If I get this guy all the way to full, get that going. Great Maul the KrissTigger, so we don't have to deal with annoying summons. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. we don't have to, we don't get past that until the Dragon Soul dies. Okay, I'm actually going to take this random move all the way over here, even though we barely need it. The reason for this is he's going to take the skull, and I'll take the yellow. AI manipulation. But yeah, there's some instances where you can kind of tell where the enemy is going to go. So, it's slightly harder to do now ever since they made an update a couple patches ago, where they made the PC mobile AI basically like the console AI. But it's still possible to manipulate the AI in some instances to do exactly what you want them to do, which is nice, because then we could just do that. But yeah, even though skull distracting isn't as easy to do anymore, it is still possible. So if there's... The easiest way to do it is if there is currently no extra turn currently available on the board, and there is no ability for them to cast. For example, right now, I will know with 100% accuracy that he will take either that skull up or that skull down, assuming I was to leave the board in the exact same state. Let's see if I can do something that would kind of do something similar. So I'll go take this blue, and unless there becomes an extra turn available on the board, he will either take this skull to the right, or that skull to the left, or that skull up. Those are the only 3 moves he will do next turn. Or that skull up as well, since it became available. But yeah, as you can see, he did one of those that I just mentioned. I think the skull to the left there. Of course, when there's... Ideally, you would do that when there's only one option. Like, for example, right here. He doesn't have either of his manas all the way up. So if we... Or, well, no, there's 2. But if I go take this skull, he will guarantee take that one. Actually, let me do that other way around, because I actually have a chance for taking the skull here. So now I know he's going to take that skull to the left. And yep, he does exactly that. So you can do stuff like that. It's still predictable in some instances. A lot of stuff isn't as predictable, but that is one of the few things that you can still do. Yeah, I know. They need to just get Ferrous Rock craftable already. Hopefully. Hopefully soon. They've had it only available twice, and it was the 2 weeks when no one was able to ever do it, because no one had the resources. They didn't have control over it, though. I don't even know if they still have control over it. For some reason, didn't someone say that they did? Or didn't DA even say that or something? I forget at this point. But if they have control over it now, if that is the case, why haven't they given it to us? Let's see. I think almost every Mythic in the game has come through like several times now, other than him. I do not have anything good to do here. Wow. We're kind of getting trolled by Scion, mainly because, yes, Scion is pretty good against the Great Maul prior to us casting. Once we cast, we're good to go. Though prior to it, oh, it could have taken brown. No! Prior to it, it's really annoying. Well, was kind of my fault. But at least we got the Scion killed, so now we don't need to worry about skulls anymore. Which way do we take this? I'm leaning towards yellow into purple instead of taking the skull. Do we want mana, or do we want to try killing him out? I think I try killing him out. Because it looks like he's going to get, yep, that. So that actually was the correct decision. Because now he's going to famine us. And now we go for mana. And now we try going to full, devour the what's his name? The famine, and then we're good to go. And that's match. There we go. So I'm not even going to care that he has an ability up right now, because the famine is much more dangerous, even though he's hitting an 81 on us. And now we just clear out the board into a explosion. And then just get one skull poke somewhere is perfect. Well, sometimes they need a client update before they can actually change a couple things within the game. So sometimes they have a good excuse for it because they have no way of actually changing it. But what's annoying is when they when they kind of forget about doing something. Like something will require a client update, but then they basically forget to do whatever change they wanted to do, and then they have to wait an entire another client update before they can make that change. And there's been times where they've actually forgotten 2 times in a row to implement something that they were planning on implementing. But yeah, when that happens, that gets really annoying. But anything that's not client update, yeah, they could just do that immediately, technically. Well, I'll go kill that out. Even though it's only 46 HP, it's had its ability up, so I had to kill it. I'll throw the split there. Oh, so I just realized, have I used this team literally the entire stream? I think I have. Whoops. But yeah, if anyone wants me to do anything else, let me know. It's mainly because there's not that many viable teams with him, which is kind of why I've been sticking with it for a good majority, or actually basically the entirety of the time. But if you guys want me to mess with anything else, let me know. You said it's still completely random? Okay. So yeah, it's still completely random then. Do we have any drops here? Nope, doesn't look like it. So I'm just going to go for a split. Maybe he'll take a skull. Nope. Oh! Wow, that was a lot of damage. That's what I get for using an almost pure yellow team against a what's it called? The Dawnbringer. But luckily we still have Great Maul, so that is technically enough to win. I sure hope so. Trying to scout out for some skulls here. There we go. Oh, he actually turned the thing though. Oh, he got double. What? That's not fair. Though, in all fairness, that kind of was our first lose, I think, this entire time. I'm really surprised it hasn't lost more. Hey, another one. Oh, there we go. Pure yellow versus pure yellow. By the way, I would not advise using him on a yellow Guild War day, even if you're a newer player. There's one reason for this, and it's mainly Spirit Fox. Of course, on a yellow Guild War day, people are more likely to counter the yellow mana. And this character is not that good when there's very little yellow on the board. And you probably wouldn't use it in a Guild War day, because there's going to be counters on a Guild War day that prevent you from having yellows on the board. So, since that's the whole premise of the troop, you wouldn't want to use it that way. Let's kill the Garuda first. Let's get that out of the way. And just keep killing it this way. Get our explosion. Get that up. Move that over. Oh yeah, I forgot. We still get event gems too. I've almost completed out the event gems. It's only the first day as well. It's pretty easy to do if you just go exploring. I forget if I mentioned that on the video earlier, but yeah, all you really have to do is just spam the explore. And it would only take like 2 hours max to finish out the event this week, assuming you have a team that can win at least 2 battles per minute in explore, which is pretty easy to do these days, unless you're a really new player. But yeah, I think that might be our last one. Oops, never mind. That's a wrong reward. Let me go check the other one. Yeah, I think we're almost there already. We are, oh, okay, a little bit further. We only have 65 more to do. And then we get our 80 gems. Wow, every single event gem we basically do from here forth is worth like 1 gem each. Very nice. A really easy event this week for 100 free gems, 5 gem keys, 1,500 souls, and 3 copies of a useless troop. Have I tried Gorgotha, Dragonsoul, KrissTigger Streak? I have not, though. I can go put that into our standard team that we normally use here. Actually, it's not that standard anymore because I keep changing it into other stuff. Yeah, I'll go put that in, get our normal things. But yeah, this team right here, those 3, you can put absolutely any troop in last slot and it automatically wins. Doesn't matter what it is. Oops, that's not how you spell that. Strike. I forget how these things are spelled. No. There it is, Strijan or something. That's such a weird word. Strix and Strijic. Interesting. Anyways, standard banner, standard everything, and just go right in. Probably not the best idea to throw it against this team though. I like how I switch into this on like the worst possible battle it could go up against. But oh well, should be okay. All we have to do is go for purples, go for reds, go from there. Hopefully not get scions, and should be good. Let's take the blue, get our KrissTigger going, and pretty standard, just Dragon Soul into KrissTigger for the rest of the battle. You don't even need to cast whatever you put in last slot. What do we have here? Guess we go in blue. Oh, oops, I didn't see the other one. Oh, we still got an extra turn somewhere though. And that's match off the thing. And there we go. Yeah, you could just keep doing that for glory. Would be pretty easy. I was trying not to do this team, but yeah. Because it's such a generic team that pretty much always gets used for it. I wish there was another triple threat similar to this that would become really viable. This is one of the more popular ones, just because it works always. But there are other versions of it, but it doesn't work with every other troop in the entire game. But this one does, because in some of them you have to put the event troop in first slot. So depending on the colors of whatever troop it is, it might not end up working for some of the other teams that run similarly to this. Okay, we'll just go and get rid of the green there just so we get the extra turn. We make sure that dies right now, so we'll go for a Dragon Soul. We have 2, so that's definitely enough, even if it wasn't. Explosions would clean up. Oh! Got a Famine. Interesting. Not good, also. Okay, I'm just going to take blue just so we can KrissTigger here. And go from there. What don't we need? We're not using purple anymore, so let me get rid of all that. Oh, he's running double Famine. That's interesting. Haven't seen double Famine in a very long time. Don't see that too often. Oh, don't kill us with death marks now, too. We're going to lose our whole entire team just to random luck. Looks like we are. Okay, good. We didn't die there. Let me get rid of green so we can't do as much with Famine. Oh, never mind. It didn't even matter what we hit there. That was enough damage to wipe. And down it goes. Gorgotha, Rag, Infernus. I've seen Gorgotha and Furnace. I haven't seen it with Rag, though. Does that work with everything? I feel like that would lose to Mana Drain. But then again, doesn't everything. But, yeah, I guess that could work. It would be probably less desirable than this for a Strigic, though, because you're already using all those colors. So you're going to be blocking him on everything. And you're only going to be covering, what is that, 4 colors? Yeah, 4 colors. There's plenty of teams that only cover 4 that are still decent, though. Yeah, I know, that's the other issue, too. A lot of people don't have the Mythic either. At least with this, it's all Legends, which are still harder to get, but not anywhere near as hard as Mythics. There's a pretty big difference between trying to get 3 Legends compared to trying to get 1 Mythic. Getting 1 specific Mythic is actually harder than getting 3 specific Legends, especially since you can just Soul Forge them and get it for cheaper that way, if you really had to, as a last resort. Okay, well, throw down the thing. Get a Dragon Soul. Yeah, Gorgotha into Infernus or Rag into Infernus is pretty powerful. You can even see he's using that right now, Rag into Infernus. I never really tried using both of them together, though. Okay, and down it goes. Hello, Techni, welcome. Oh, I didn't even see that. That was you. I read what was said, but I didn't actually read the name. Welcome. Your best team so far is the Tesla team, and with the Dwarven Gate. Oh, Dwarven Gate, Valkyrie, Tesla. Yeah, it's pretty good. It runs through the entire game as well, without much of a problem. You can even fight people that are a lot stronger than you. I've been using it on my Let's Play account, of course, quite a bit, because that's again, also my only viable team on that account. So, yeah, if you have the Tesla, you're pretty much good to go. It's one of the few legends that you can get where it's really, really valuable to get as soon as possible if you happen to get lucky or find it in the Soul Forge. Another troop that's very similar to that is Dragon Soul, because it can hit 20 full AoE the second you get it, regardless of what stat lines you have or anything like that. Doesn't matter your kingdom upgrades or anything. As soon as you get a Dragon Soul, all you have to do is find 3 other dragons of any kind, doesn't even matter what they are, and then boom, you can hit 20 per cast. His explosions won't be as many as you would see like mine doing, which is 12. I think he starts off with probably about like 4 or 5 with how much magic he'll have at that point. But his damage output's the exact same, and it's also not manipulated by magic reduction. So there's no way for him to actually reduce it. He can't be webbed, he can't be magic reduced or anything like that. As long as there are actually that many dragons alive on the team, he will still get the full 20 damage per cast, which he gets or needs. Okay, well, throw down... What do we do for that? I guess we'll just get rid of the green. Doesn't really matter too much at this point. And Dragon Soul into another Dragon Soul. Or never mind. There we go. And down. Also, anyone just getting here, I believe it's still active, so make sure to use that redeem code right there. And on gemsofwar.com should still be active, I hope. Yeah, I will give the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold for anyone on PC mobile. Okay. What to do with this? He's gonna Mercy, so I need to make sure I take away that mana. Oh no! Cascade, why? Though I probably should have taken that a different way to make sure that wouldn't have happened. Because that made it so there was 2 things that could have fallen there, and one of them did. That would have been bad. The brown or the, I mean, the yellow or the purple would have both been bad. What do we even do here? Again, I need to go stop him from doing that, except this time actually doing it correctly. Though there isn't a way to do it correctly. We're stuck at the same situation. If... Oh no, this one isn't the same situation. This is actually a slightly better one, because only a purple will be bad. Okay, good, and it doesn't land. We actually got the yellow, which was the best possible option, because we get more mana. We'll just throw that down, and should be good to go from here. We now get Christinex, got Dragon Soul, got everything we need. I almost feel like getting rid of these yellows, even though we kind of need them. But he kind of needs them too. You know what, let's get rid of red, just so he doesn't get like a firestorm. Because once we kill something, he's going to be getting that and everything. So I don't want him utilizing that for himself. And again, we get to utilize it too, I guess, with Dragon Soul and such. But once one of them dies, it'll happen. Let me go. Oh, there we go. Or if he kills one of us. Wait, what? Oh, never mind. It wasn't from him killing one of us. It was from his Garuda doing it that time. But yeah, if we kill one of them, that will redo the Firestorm. So I guess we just have to use that at this point. So we'll go through that. Throw it into yellows. Get a Dragon Soul. Actually, why did I do it in that order? I should have threw Dragon Soul first and then team wiped with the Struzik. And that would have been enough. Oh well. Throw that down. And good to go. Can you show you a Queen Mab team? Please, Bridget suggested one with Justice and Valkyrie. Oh yeah, of course. That's pretty much what people use. The Corvash, Valkyrie, Justice, Queen Mab. You can use anything in first slot. I didn't see which one Bridget specifically mentioned, though, as her first slot. Where was the one that Bridget mentioned? I don't see it. But yeah, we'll just go with one of the more classic versions with it. That or a Kraken. I don't know if you have a Kraken, though. But we can run something like this. This is the base of the team. Actually, do I not even have a Justice team set up anymore? But yeah, it's basically this. It's Valkyrie, Justice, Queen Mab, fully traded. And if you don't have full Queen Mab fully traded, there are 2 alternatives, so they don't necessarily work as good. Or actually, they don't work as good. It is Borealis, which is also a legendary, but it doesn't need traits. Or the Ice Golem, which is an epic, and it doesn't need traits as well. But it's not as efficient as something like a Queen Mab. It's actually the least efficient of the 3, but it still works. Basically, what you need here is a troop that can freeze the entire enemy team. Queen Mab just does that the best because she does it for no turn loss very easily. And then you put anything in first slot. Really common things are Kraken, Corvash, and stuff like that. I guess I'll run it with Corvash. It's normally the way it gets ran on defend, if people defend with it. Oh, you know what? But we don't get the nice banner if we do it that way. I'm just use Kraken, I guess. I don't know if you have a Kraken, but it almost doesn't even matter what your first slot is. You can use like a common there and it'll still win. You could just use a peasant and it would still win. Move that over. Keep getting our freezes down. Go throw the purple to yellow. Try getting a Valkyrie up. Move that there. Get a Valkyrie somewhere. Oh, hello, 3 blue on the entire board. Wow, there is very little blue. Still enough for us to actually use, though, even though there's almost none. Move that down, move that down. What else do we need? I guess take a 3rd blue. Throw it onto, like, purple, yellow, red, something. Throw that onto... I guess we'll do it on yellow. I don't see why not. Ah, the miss. I personally don't use Justice theme that much anymore because of the miss rate of Justice itself. This is the same reason why I don't use Honor and stuff. They end up tweaking how they spawn gems slightly to the point that they aren't really that useful to use unless you don't have some other options. They're still pretty potent once they get going if they get lucky enough. I just hate having that high liability of it possibly missing, and then it misses and then you're kind of in trouble. But basically, for the most part, you just keep casting it on skulls and just win out that way until you just tear out the entire team. Throw Queen Mabs whenever you can fit them in, and just keep cycling everything else. So right here, we'll just get that, cascade it down, get our skull, Queen Mab if it fits, and it does. Keep getting skulls, and just keep cycling that until you win. And since they're all frozen, they're pretty much just going to lose their turn every single time, even if you do end up missing. And throw that into purple. Get another Queen Mab if available. That'll clear out a slot, and poke. Oh, oops, we're entangled. Whoops. Well, that's why we have a Kraken. Let's go get an extra turn off of one of these. Oh no, wow, we can't even land an extra turn. And now he got enough HP that I can't extra turn kill him. There we go. Down he goes. Finally. That was weird. But yeah, something along those lines is basically what a Justice team is. Any other substitutes? Do you have fully traded Soothsayer? This is actually what I originally ran something like this with. Fully traded Soothsayer with a red-yellow banner, because I don't even believe Dragon Banner existed at the time. But yeah, this kind of works. You get the extra stats, you get the extra board. I mainly use them for mana that you get at the beginning. It also covers every color, which is also pretty convenient. You can also run Sylvania Mora there if you happen to have, particularly if it's fully traded, though that's quite a bit more expensive than a fully traded Soothsayer. He's only rare, so really pretty simple to get. Rare, and he doesn't need to have fully traits. First trait alone would kind of be okay, but of course he gets empowered first turn, so he can throw some board control. Also gives a little bit of magic, so if your Valkyrie's a bit low on soul gaining, like if that number was like below 10 or something, you'd at least get a little bit of a boost to that. Justice would get a slight boost to its ability. Queen Mab would get an extra damage. It doesn't give too big of a benefit, but hey, any little bit of extra magic helps, but it's mainly for the board control that you end up getting from it. And you normally keep the purples on the board anyway, so you get to keep a lot of different options. So I guess we'll go through this real quick, just to show it. Yeah, Soothsayer is actually one of my favorite troops as well, as far as the strategy used to use them. The only big problem with them these days is the fact that it takes too long sometimes to figure out where to use this move. But basically, the reason why I ended up choosing that one, and it actually worked out pretty well, a little bit too well, but there were two different spots where we could have gotten a turn. So for example, on this board right now, we would most likely want to throw it onto, I believe, here. And the reason for this is we have two different chances for brown, so we're pretty much going to automatically, or you know what, we'd have to move that first. But yeah, probably there, because we'd have a pretty good chance of extra turning all the way down there. We could also do it right here, which would have basically the same result, and we'd also have a green chance, so now that would actually be slightly better. But you basically just do it anywhere where you have either a chance to take a single poke or a chance to take a extra turn. One of the best spots to ever do it in is whenever you can get a top line triple. So if you get like a yellow, yellow, something yellow, or you know, a color, or same color, different color, same color on the top or all the way at the bottom. Anytime that's set up, that's generally when you want to go for it, because that gives you a 50-50 chance either direction that you or the enemy will get it. If you try doing it in one like this, these you can go for if you want, but they're a little bit riskier, because this extra turn, if a red goes there or if a red goes there, it will help the enemy, but it will only help you if the red goes there. So there's twice as high of a chance that it will go into the enemy's favor than your own. But if there are multiple different ones, like let's say if that 4 times red and that 4 times purple were both aligned in the same column, then you'd probably want to go for it. But yeah, you'd have to decide a lot of times what you actually want to do with it. Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting strategy that goes into using them. Not enough that you would ever really bother to do it, though. It's similar to Dragoni Monk. Like, they can be really, really powerful if you take the time to actually play them out. The biggest issue with that, though, is ever since they added 4 times speed and stuff, the momentum of the game doesn't really reward you for using them as much, unless you're doing it in Guild Wars. But aside from Guild Wars, they don't really reward you as much, because if you try doing it in PvP, your battle, even though you're going to have a pretty good chance of winning, your rate of winning is going to be much slower than if you were just running like some kind of exploder or something that you don't really need to think about how to use it. Like right here, for example, is a instance where it is better to go for this, because we have the yellow extra turn right there and another one right over there. We also have a really small chance for yellow extra turn right there off the triple yellow. So we have 3 different locations that could possibly land it. Of course, we miss all of them, and we ended up giving both of them into his favor. So fail, but those are the kind of instances where you kind of do go for it. But yeah, anyways, throw it into his skull. And take the purple down. Take ourselves the Queen Mab, move that up. Just keep throwing for skulls. There we go. That over, get another free skull, and just need to find one more now. There we go. Oh, it's just sitting right over there. And down it goes. But yeah, that's basically how it would run. Let's see. Yeah, anything with stone skin would also work. Yeah, if in doubt for a front line in any team, just do something with stone skin. Doesn't even matter what it is. That alone is pretty good to get whatever you need for a frontline tank. Because normally you do want your first troop to have some kind of mitigation towards skulls. It's not mandatory, but obviously it's helpful, because the first thing anything's ever going to get hit by skull is the first troop in your team. So if it has some kind of mitigation against it, even if it's just minor, like a 20% dodge or something, it is pretty helpful than having a 0% reduction to it. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to be heading off for the night. We will be back same time tomorrow, as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to go over the Guild Wars and all that kind of stuff. No new content this Friday, mainly just the event that we ended up getting today. Though there is a chance that a new patch could be right around the corner, could come later this week, could come later next week, we don't really know. No official dates, we don't even know for sure if they're getting it out before Christmas, but that is their goal. They even re-mentioned that on the stream like 2 hours ago when they were doing it. They did mention that it is their goal to try to get it out before Christmas, so hopefully they'll be able to do so. Anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. If you still have any other questions, feel free to leave them for the next stream or just leave them on any of the videos. Anyways, guys, I'll see you all later. And thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone.